Good evening, this is Force 13 Live, and it's 2 AM UTC. The current time here in the UK is 3 o'clock, and in the US East Coast time is 10 PM. Matthew is in front of us, and there it is, headed towards Haiti. Category 4 or more, we dread to think. It could become a Category 5 storm before landfall. We don't know whether it will or not. But the way the storm is going, it's turning out to be a very bad situation for Haiti. In this hour, we'll have news from Recon, we hope, and we'll also have the National Hurricane Center's latest update, which should come out near the end of this hour. In the meantime, it's more discussion. We'll talk about models, we'll talk about where the storm could go, and we'll answer your questions on air. If you want to send us a message, you can post through the comments at any time. That's if you're watching us live, of course. All of our shows get archived and uploaded on the Force 13 channel. So if you're watching one of those recordings, then that would be pretty pointless because the time's already passed. But right now you're watching us live, and there's the storm heading what we think is northwards towards Haiti. My name's Nathan Foy, and joining me is the Skype team this evening. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
David, over here on the east coast of Australia. Lee is up there in Scotland. And Nathan, just looking at the chat, the postings. A special welcome to Joe E. I'm not good with pronunciations.
Maybe it's just
Nathan.
Joey.
Joey, okay.
Could be. Who knows?
Now, Force 13 just today, and I'm loving it. It's good to see you here, and you can come on board. Just visit our main website, and we'd love to see you here.
Yes, and we're going to be staying on the air for as long as we feel necessary, and that may be quite a while looking at it. And I don't know who wants to go first in this hour, but I suppose maybe we could... one of the viewers wanted to look at models, so maybe that's a good idea.
I don't have screens here, so...
Nor do
I'll pull up.
Hank's usually our go-to models guy.
I've always got.
Whoever can access the link and bring it up while
I've always got trap with just in case.
Yeah, that's the easiest one to go to.
Mm-hmm. It's the easiest to understand.
And mobile friendly.
Nice.
Good website. Overall,
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Right.
10 out of 10. That's a recommended site for if you're trying to track these storms. Recommended site right there.
Yeah. Let's start out with the GFS and what they're saying. So I'll show you this, and then I'll show you a model guidance, like spaghetti models, in just a minute. So it says through Haiti, eastern tip of Cuba, right along the coast of Florida, might make a landfall, might not, skirting the Outer Banks and making landfall eventually in Nova Scotia. And that's basically it. That's what GFS is saying. ECMWF is saying that we will have... Let's make it a little bit easier to understand. Okay. Haitian landfall through the Bahamas. Close to a landfall, but not quite. Moving out to sea, avoiding Canada entirely. CMC is saying that the storm will move... clip or make a landfall in the eastern.
That's
the
pretty
west.
much assured, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically a given at this point. And then it becomes makes landfall in the Outer Banks and makes landfall and becomes an absolutely huge extratropical cycle. Look at that.
Oh.
Over Canada. But then against the CMC, they're predicting another 50 storms. NavJam has had an interesting solution, actually. It's just a new run. Yes, a new run. I don't know if the same solution. Yeah, landfall near Miami, briefly emerges into the Gulf. And then after that, it kind of takes a track similar to Hermine, I guess. And then another storm forming right over the Dominican.
That would be weird.
Yeah. But I'm not going to check JMA because it's basically broken in the Atlantic. God model is saying that we will have. Is that landfall? Yes. Misses Cuba apparently. Moves through the
Okay.
Bahamas and then a landfall near Morehead City. Getting kind of close to, I guess, with that movement, it would probably make a landfall in either Rhode Island or Cape Cod.
If that movement was to
GFDO.
What's
kick off.
the central pressure? I think that's what, dropping to 936 about going back
No, 916.
Cool.
916.
And that's supposed to be in about 4 hours,
Really?
which is interesting. Central pressure, David. Right here is 964, and there are no tropical storm force winds, so that's a very deep system. GFDL, don't kind of spoiled it right there, but whatever.
Ooh.
It's saying that it will clip, not make a landfall, but clip western Haiti, landfall in Cuba, over Andros Island or Grand Bahama. I forget the name of that island every single time. The one that Nassau's on. Close to Florida, not quite a landfall. And then that forward movement would suggest probably just clipping the North Carolina coastline. So that's what's going on with the models. Once that for this process, I'm going to have to take out the screen share because it's quite a long, tedious process for me, and I don't want to show everyone what's going on there. Let me just pull it up for a minute. Let's see. Come on, work with me.
Okay,
well, that's
some frustration going on over there.
Oh, well, I'll bring this one up and perhaps we can have a bit of discussion on it while you...
Oh no, there's. I got it.
He's got it.
You got it? All right.
What are you going to show us, David? You can show us that later.
So yeah, here's basically the spaghetti model track. I don't know. I think this is a bit more updated because I don't see the nav gem going into the Gulf.
Where's the UK map?
There it is.
UK Met is it says a
Yeah,
David.
the blue one?
It says a David like track. Not you, the hurricane in
Yeah.
1970.
Yes, I was thinking of this, just not me.
Quite a long time ago.
Yeah, 1979, first year they had mail name storms.
Hmm.
Anyways, yeah, pretty good consensus. Clipping or making a landfall in western Haiti, Tiburon Peninsula. Make a landfall in eastern Cuba. Ignore this model right here. That's not even a model technically. Moves through the Bahamas and then mostly offshore Florida. So, but that doesn't mean you're out of the clear. You could see some tropical storm force winds and maybe even.
Yeah, we're not saying by any means that Florida's gonna get away with it,
Yeah.
but
So
you know,
save the comments.
we're watching it, and I know people are saying, sort of sarcastically, how long will it be until it's not too soon? Well, it'll be a while yet, at least a day, probably two.
Mm-hmm.
And
then after it gets past the latitude of at least Miami, so like 25 north, it becomes very vague. We still don't know if it's actually going to move up the East Coast or just move out to sea. We still don't know. And it's very typical in October to see very poor model consensus. Last year was a pretty good example with Joaquin.
Oh yeah.
Just poor model consensus of where that storm is going to go. Sandy, I guess, was another pretty good example. No real clue where that thing was going. Karen of 2013, yes, there was something going on in 2013. Karen had some pretty bad uncertainty with it. I think Gonzalo at one point had it, but then after that it was pretty tight. So yeah, a bunch of storms. Sandy, I already mentioned Sandy, I think.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah, let's not. It's another day. So yeah, basically October is very unpredictable in the Atlantic. what you really need to watch in October is the ECMWF model. That's the one you want to watch because they got Sandy right, they got Joaquin right, they got Karen right. So,
and what are they saying now?
And they're saying it's gonna either make. It's been back and forth, making landfall just offshore, making landfall just offshore. So it's either making landfall or just offshore.
Looking at the models on the screen, what can we say about those tracks in green?
What about the tracks in green?
There's a BAM. What is it? The BAM model?
Yeah, I've seen one or two
How
people.
reliable?
I've seen one or two people saying what is our analysis on those. We can't really say rule in or out any of those models.
Yeah.
Any one of those scenarios could happen.
Mm-hmm. Also, I would just try to ignore these two models. I would ignore these two.
Well, considering how that CLP5 just a day or two ago was predicting the storm to graze Honduras and the Yucatan Peninsula, and now it's gone to the other extreme.
Yeah, and this is just for 98L, that one cloud that's probably going to end up getting named because NHC. So yeah, that's the model consensus right now.
We'll watch it, but shouldn't be a threat to land regardless.
It's actually 60-60 right now, which is kind of surprising.
60-60. And I'm looking at the latest satellite imagery. You can see it on the screen right here. I don't know. Has it slowed down slightly again?
I would say yes.
Possibly.
The National Hurricane Center will tell us what the latest is in about, well, if you're lucky it'll be out early in half an hour, otherwise expect it in about 50 minutes. And the latest satellite image is out on the storm as well, and the eye appears on satellite to be getting just a slight bit better again.
Yes.
I don't know what to make of this, but let me go back onto that point. The recon reporting a drop zone, an eye temperature of 28 Celsius, which would normally correspond to a Category 5 storm. We can't say it's a Category 5 storm because I wouldn't go off just that one reading of one instrument. Go ahead.
Drop Sonde has confirmed that Matthew is still 936.
Okay, well they had 934 not long ago.
Yeah, so it's been pretty steady in the mid 930s.
In the mid 930s, and that's the lowest it's been so far, even lower than when it was a Category 5, ironically. But then again,
it's at a more northerly latitude now. So
yeah, I mean, if you want the argument for that, Sandy, Category 3, was it 954 millibars at Cat 3, and then 940 millibars at Cat 1 further north?
Well, that's because it was becoming an extratropical system.
Yeah. But that's a classic example, though. There's many others. Anyway, there's another view of the satellite imagery. It
wasn't just that; it was also, well, the biggest storm by wind field in the history of the Atlantic. But never mind.
Only that small detail, and that's why Tip was the most intense storm on record. Well, let's look at this. What can we deduce from those frames?
Let me see the screen share, and I will tell you.
Just what is that eye doing?
That eye is
widening again.
You can tell on those latest frames. I don't think it ever disappeared. I think it's still there.
I feel like it's having a little bit of an identity crisis, but I just had to put that pun in there. That was very.
Moving on. That was so awful. It took me 5 seconds to understand.
Shut off. God, I had to be John for like 5 seconds. Anyways, it's looking, nah.
Yeah, well, from a land perspective and a human perspective here, the edges of the bad stuff are now reaching Haiti and possibly the eastern coast of Jamaica.
Edges of the bad stuff. That's very technical.
Well, we can say whatever we like, but you know, people. I mean, we can say whatever, but people won't understand how strong this storm is until it arrives on their doorstep.
Yeah, true. But yes, the thunderstorms are beginning to come on shore. This is just the beginning of what's to come. It's basically right now the calm before the storm. You've had the rain, but you haven't had nearly what is possibly going to begin. But actually, looking at the forward movement, it looks like I can't tell, but I feel like it's moving a bit more due north of northeast.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been saying that for some time, actually. I think we may have said that when you were on a break.
Yeah, probably.
But, the storm appears to be moving north, and I would hesitate to say that there might be just that slight westward element to it, and if it continues in extrapolated track there, I would suggest that it will not make landfall on Haiti, but that's not much comfort because the eastern eye wall is still set to pass right over the southern peninsula.
Pretty much, but you know, I can't help but just mourn for the people of Haiti right now because I can't imagine what the conditions in Haiti might be like tonight because we could easily have probably one of the worst storms in the history of Haiti, if not the Atlantic.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, it depends. It depends. Like, it really does. But maybe that was a little far. But anyway, moving on. Just ignore what I said.
Well, make no mistake. This could well be the worst storm in Haiti since the '60s.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because really, we haven't had any major hurricane landfalls in Haiti since Inez of '66. And yeah, we've had storms that have done pretty big impacts. We had Gordon, we had Hannah, we had...
Just look how huge that central area has become. I think it's David showing the first and last frame there, and the comparison. It's almost doubled in size in that wind field. You'd imagine it'd be the wind field expanding massively.
Oh yeah, it really has become much larger. And that's both due to the eye wall replacement cycle and due to the land interaction.
Well, that's if it is an eye wall replacement cycle. If it isn't, it's something we've barely seen before. It's a very strange one. But regardless of anything that we don't know, what we do know is that the storm is going to be a very bad event for Haiti. And at worst, it will be a catastrophe. But we're hoping for the best, as always.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the system will do a Patricia and not blow up in intensity, but just not do anything. And we thought it was going to do a lot.
You reckon it's going to curve to the northwest?
That is a possibility, but at the moment, I don't see it happening.
It would be better just getting, putting 3 pieces of paper under 3 cups saying northwest, north, and northeast, and seeing which one you get after you shuffle them about. It's, no idea. But what we do know is that we expect it will move into a northerly direction, and that it has done for quite some time since it stopped stalling about a day ago. And it doesn't appear to be in the process of stalling again anytime soon. So
the thing is, the CDO is quite huge, yes, but the eye is relatively small, which is something I think is quite interesting. I haven't taken a look at microwave yet.
But we round back to that drop sonde, and if the eye temperature is indeed that temperature, 28 Celsius, which is high, goodness, I've known Category 5s to have less of a temperature than that.
What temperature?
28 Celsius.
For sea surface temperatures?
No, for the eye temperature.
28 Celsius. That's quite warm.
Well, it is. I can't remember what storm, but didn't Patricia have a 34 Celsius eye or something?
Something like that. It was
So, you know,
at least 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
6 Celsius off Patricia here. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
well,
it's going to be anything like
let's-
Patricia, however.
Yeah, Nathan, let's not compare this storm to Patricia.
That's the only example I can think of right now.
Well, there's probably some other less
In
specific
terms
type.
of eye temperature, which is only one tiny thing in relation to the storm, there's so many other factors we can talk about.
Yeah.
And so many other reasons that makes this storm different from Patricia or Sandy or Wilma or Katrina or any other storm that we mention. And we take the
Actually-
storm without thinking about past storms. We take it on what it is right now, without any. We can't, because this scenario hasn't happened before. The only thing close to this scenario is Hurricane Hazel in 1954. Hardly anyone is around to remember that anymore. And
I wouldn't
of
say
course,
hardly anyone. But,
huh?
I wouldn't say hardly anyone, but
Well, hardly anyone who was intimate with the details.
Oh well,
you know?
yeah, I would agree with you on that one. But yeah, this is really quite unprecedented. This is a very strange track, to say the least. Hazel is the only storm I can think of
That's
that
it.
took
We,
a
1954, no satellites. We know nothing about the wind profile or the storm structure of Hazel when it was approaching Haiti. Nothing at all. So we don't know what it is in comparison to Hazel. Whether Hazel was huge, whether it was tiny. This storm was tiny, is now blown up in the last few hours, and well, it's a worry.
That worry,
Definitely.
I think, is an under exaggeration, Nathan.
Hmm.
Because I don't. Good lord, I can't. I'm speechless. I can't say anything about
Okay.
this storm anymore.
Well,
Because
if you're speechless, maybe the viewers aren't. If you've got any questions for us whilst we're on the air, you can send them in at any time. Just post them in the comments section. Of course, you can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Search Force13 all in text. And you can add my personal Skype account, Fool13, for tropical weather chat at any time. That's FOOL13.
nice plug in there.
Oh, obviously, and look at the screen there. That's the total precipitable water, I believe.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, it's just a new site that I've come across.
Yeah, right now that we don't really have all that, we're kind of at a loss of things to say. I'm just going to look at some comments. Andrew Mapping asks, is Matthew going to be retired? 1, it's way too early to tell. 2, none of the damage figures have come in. And 3, why are we discussing retirements in October?
John, you're supposed to be on my side. Shameless plug. Outrageous.
Yeah. Other questions. Let's see. More Florida questions.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well,
that's just-
there's a lot of people from Florida watching, and I don't blame them. I'm just my stance on the storm right now is not going to change for some time. Florida needs to think about preparing. They shouldn't evacuate. They shouldn't do anything that's unnecessary at this time. They should watch the storm. They don't need to put any preparedness plans into action, but they should be checking those plans to make sure that they're all in order with the potential eventuality. Now, media outlets jump the gun and go a bit crazy. We're not one of those. And we suggest right now that Florida has maybe a 50% chance of experiencing tropical storm force winds at this time. That the odds of that could increase, and if they do, we'll let you know. But I don't foresee those odds increasing in the next day or two, because until it gets beyond Cuba, we haven't a clue. The storm could weaken substantially after Cuba landfall over the Bahamas. We've seen so many storms that have been predicted to stay strong, but they've weakened unexpectedly. This could be just another one of those. It could turn out to see. It's not a given it will move to Florida, that the models are trending that way. But, we'll keep you up to date.
Yeah. We have not necessarily a question, but a comment from Michael Brown that I think is kind of interesting. I think maybe a historical phenomenon is taking place. Last year, exactly on October 5th, Joaquin hit. Now, first of all, it's Joaquin, not Joaquin. Second
Maybe
of
it was
all,
just a typo.
Yeah, second of all, it wasn't October. It was probably not. It wasn't October 5th. Joaquin was already, at least near Bermuda.
It was peaking around the turn of the month, wasn't it?
It peaked at...
no, the first peak, sorry.
First peak, it was in the Bahamas. Second peak is when it was moving out to sea and nearly became a 5.
Yeah. Nearly. And
Yeah.
I think many people will argue with us now saying it was a 5. We don't think so.
Watch the comments come in 3, 2, 1.
No, don't encourage them. Outrageous behaviour. Okay.
Okay. So now that we're off topic, kind of, let's talk about...
Well, we can afford to be, at least for a few moments whilst we're not getting used. Any new recon information? We were sort of hanging on the edge 20 minutes ago, whether there was anything new coming
I got recon right here.
Tell us about
recon
it, Isaac.
is...
Recon.
That's not right now.
Oh, yeah, recon, they're going, they're on the outer fringe of the storm right now, might be going for another pass. Looks like they found 936 on the last pass. And then the same with the one before that, 936 as well, and then the first one, 934, of course, millibars. And then a wind speed of above 113 knots.
I guess I just been in a general annoyance in the comments.
Oh, that's John in the background picking up on my announcement. Yeah.
I guess I just been pretty much, I posted a couple comments, trying to be funny.
Indeed.
Well, that's pretty much my role here is just, humor.
Well, let's get your thoughts on the storm right now.
Well, but as I last looked at it, it's definitely got that look to it, if you know what I mean by that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
It looks strong,
Yeah.
number one. That's obvious. Obvious drop. Another thing I wanted to point out is definitely that we're looking like we're seeing upper negative 70s. Ooh, we just had a pixel of 80, but really a pixel is not really too important to worry about. Mainly, the eye is actually pretty small in this thing. I think that...
But it might be obscured. We really don't know what's going on with the eye. Devon was baffled earlier, and I don't think anyone could tell us with any kind of certainty what exactly the storm is doing.
I'm still pretty baffled myself.
Right.
We all are. That's the thing. Like, none of us know what this stupid thing is doing.
I mean, I can't screen share right now. Right now because my computer doesn't allow it, and I'm just looking at just Rainbow Floater right now, trying to piece together what the heck this storm is doing.
Yes, it's just an anomaly to say the least.
I don't think I should say the phrase.
Yes, indeed. And, we're sort of just running towards sort of drifting from one headline to the next when we get news. Obviously, the National Hurricane Center will be updating very soon. We've been on air for the past 6 hours talking about the storm, and after such a long time, there's only so much you can still end up saying. But if you do have any comments or questions for us, and I know there's a steady stream of stuff coming in, then we'll do our best to reply. I'm sure. I don't think we're going to be running out of those anytime soon. Hey.
Here's something quite interesting, actually. Force 13 just hit 4,000 subs.
Oh wow! Would you believe it?
Nice. Congratulations, Nathan.
What are you gonna do for 4K subs? Is a big question.
Well, we're doing a live stream.
Should we just shoot 4K video for 4,000 subs of the same?
Well, actually, that is possible. I did do some videos in 4K not long ago. Yeah, we'll consider
That was
that.
a-
But
That was
thank
a
you.
bad pun.
That was awful.
Well, it's the best I can come up with right now. Sorry if anyone was expecting some sort of special
Oh,
thing.
Top Pro Anthony says, "Woo! You have to do more hypothetical hurricanes."
No,
To that, I'm
thank
gonna
you.
say
Oh,
no.
You can do that, John. That's your department these days. John is sort of doing, well, when he finds time, some hypothetical hurricane seasons on his on the Force 13 Extra channel. We have an extra channel, by the way, which has supplemental videos, behind the scenes footage, and all that. If you can find it on our main channel, but just search Force 13, you know our channel name, and just add extra onto the end, and you'll find it. And every so often there's live streams on there too, so it's nice to follow both. If you really if you want a little bit more than what the main channel already offers you.
There are 2 hypotheticals on there, I think, and a third one is just a test one.
Pretty soon. And I
since-
believe we are back at this point. These things do
Oh.
happen, just 10-second long. What's on the constant convection to the east of the storm? Even the NHC mentioned it. Well, I think they're talking about looking at the imagery, that area that's sort of coming ashore the Dominican Republic now, perhaps. Maybe it's that?
I mean, that looks like it could be part of Matthew's influence, in my opinion, but that's just all I can really pull from it, more or less. And I can't really see Matthew's imagery or any screen shares for that matter, since I am on a computer which doesn't really allow it.
It's a
Again,
shame.
I am basically essentially blind to anything that people show on the stream, which means that if anything, I'm gonna have a 30-second lag time. If anything, if you want to show me something, maybe 15 seconds, but you know what I mean.
I see.
But we've-
Yeah, so we're just sort of hanging about at the moment whilst we wait for the next update from the NHC. I wonder if we've got a new satellite image. No. The next one, I believe, is due in 10 minutes. So we're going to be looking out for...
Well,
Go ahead.
while we're waiting for Matthew, can we look at the other storms going on in the world?
Yeah, I suppose we
That's
may as
what I was
well.
about to say.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I'd
if
like to
anyone
see
wants
that
to
too.
screen share the satellite imagery of
I got
Chaba right now. I was just hesitating there because I don't know if it's still a super typhoon or not. It was...
Still 125 knots.
No, wait, no, never mind. No, it's not. Not anymore.
It was 155 miles an hour the last I knew.
Yeah, well,
125 knots right now.
So it's weakened.
145 mile an hour for all you
so just
people in
under
America.
65.
Yeah.
So here's Chaba. Became a Cat 5 earlier today, actually. The
That's right.
6th Cat 5 of 2016.
And now,
Uh,
officially, get this, on the ATCF file, which is what the Navy maintains, they have Matthew and Chaba both at 145 miles an hour, both at 934 millibars. Would you believe it?
Oh my.
Wow.
It's interesting.
Psych.
Crazy.
The heck is my first thought. Second thought is why. Third thought is I thought Matthew was stronger. Not really, just kidding. And I have no fourth thought because my fourth thought is blank right now.
You're okay. Yeah. He's always got 4 thoughts, but usually 3 of them are blank. That makes a change. Now, here's Chaba moving up towards the north-northwest into the East China Sea. And what, is that a new eye?
I cannot tell. I think something's trying to get going.
Let me look at microwave. Let's see if I can put up microwave again. See if
Probably. One sec.
Let me get my microwave running. Give me a second.
Yeah. I just wanted
put it in the
to...
microwave.
John. John Courier.
Yeah, there's the microwave injury. So there's the Japanese Ryukyu Islands, Taiwan off to the left,
yeah.
not getting hit this time. China over there in the far left of the screen, and at the top right of the screen near the end there is the main island of Honshu of Japan, one of the 4 main islands, and Korea will be appearing on that map to the due north of the storm. Not yet, but soon in the future it will. Somewhere up there where the mouse is. And the storm itself looked good for a Cat 5, 165 miles an hour I had it at, and the JTWC had it at. It looked good for it, and weakening now. A brief peak, we thought it might have lasted longer with the rate it intensified a few days ago. It was going crazy.
Yeah. Actually,
It looks like it's gonna be it's like it's on approach to Korea. It looks like.
Yeah, probably. Actually, the second storm named Chabo to reach Category 5 intensity. But this one reached Cat 5 for not nearly as long as the one in 2004 did.
Ooh, it looks like the JTWC cone says it's going to be a really close call for Korea. It might skirt between the strait between Japan and South Korea. It looks like.
Yeah, in between. That looks probably most
It
likely.
looks like it's going to drop off a cliff.
Yeah,
as soon
well,
as it-
that's exactly what the HWRF Best Model of 2016 said. Earlier.
Hashtag best model ever.
No more. No more, please.
Yeah, we've had plenty of hashtags. I think hashtag Matthew is trending right now on the 460.
Yeah,
It's been
I forgot.
trending for days.
Hashtag Matthew is the #1 tweet for the past 3 days.
Yeah, that's a little surprise, isn't it?
Well, at least people care about the tropics.
Well, you know, it's necessity, isn't it?
You don't know when you're gonna get whacked. I am full of quotes today, sadly.
John, you're always full of quotes. You're always full of quotes.
That's the
Yes.
sad thing.
Okay, so, yeah, not much else to say at this point. Don't know if Recon
Joe
in your
Sly
info.
says it should hit North Korea.
Huh.
Oh, God. What did I just
It
start?
should stay pretty far away from Kim Jong Un. So,
Yeah. We'll worry about that next year, bud. Just saying. Who knows?
Well,
They might
yes.
send the storms. Oh dear. You know, never mind.
Yeah, never mind there, John. So, if you've got any questions for us whilst we're on air, of course, do send them in. We're here for a while. I don't know how long. I think there's a marine warning that's been issued off the coast of Florida in a small area. There must be something going on over there. Off the coast of Miami, actually. A few miles out to sea. There are also flood warnings that are already in effect for particular areas, including the Miami area. It was that flood advisory, perhaps, something flooding related, and south of West Palm Beach as well. There's something to do with flooding there. So, if the
Another
advisories
question.
for flooding are already coming out, is Florida? How is Florida for droughts and floods at the moment? What side of the scale are they on right now? Are they in drought?
Okay.
no, I don't really know.
Or
I
lane
think
surplus?
I don't think they're in drought anymore, considering both the rains in August and Hermine.
Questions. All caps. Will be hitting the Dominican Republic.
Well,
all caps.
All caps. No.
Well, let me tell you about the Dominican Republic right now. You're probably experiencing the worst, or you will be about to in about an hour. And if it doesn't get any worse than it does in an hour, then you should be okay. If you're in the western part of the Dominican Republic, you should worry about tropical storm conditions. If you're in the eastern part, Santo Domingo area could get some significant rainfall, looking at the convective areas off the eastern side of the storm, which we've already discussed. And if you're along the eastern area or the northern coast, you should probably get away with not too much issues.
And someone else said, should I leave Cuba? I'm in Cuba right now. Should I leave Cuba?
Question is, where?
Right next door.
John, stop.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. It's literally right across the pond there.
Oh. Okay. What?
And the forecast for Matthew is as fluid as our atmosphere. Latest slip to the west brings it close to us by Friday. That's posted by weather experts in the States.
Weather experts in the States, yeah, they'll be disagreeing about this system for a while since it is October. More or less.
And recapping what we know earlier, the entire state of Florida is under a state of emergency, with Matthew's track uncertain.
We need to change that from a state of emergency to state of preparedness.
It's
Hashtag change.
Yeah, well, as Devon outlined, it's, politics after all.
Our least favorite subject here at Force 13.
And the Nathan.
Besides, what's it called? Besides Hurricane Patricia.
Oh dear.
No, it's Hurricane.
Yeah, David?
Oh yeah, that too.
No, don't do it. David?
Key messages from the National Weather Service. Matthew is likely to produce devastating impacts from storm surge, extreme winds, heavy rains, flash floods, and/or mudslides in portions of the watch and warning areas. Direct hurricane impacts are possible in Florida later this week. Tropical storm and/or hurricane watches could be issued sometime tonight or early tomorrow for portions of the Florida Peninsula and the Florida Keys. Tropical storm or hurricane conditions could affect portions of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina later this week or this weekend, even if the center of Matthew remains offshore. And the key point is it is too soon to specify what, if any, direct impacts Matthew may have on the remainder of the US East Coast. At a minimum, very dangerous beach and boating conditions are likely along most of the US East Coast later this week and over the weekend.
Yeah, probably.
Definitely a system I'm going to be watching. Said, definitely a system I'm going to be watching.
What, Matthew?
Of course, I live up in the Northeast.
Well, yeah, actually, is that something you want to discuss? The possible impacts to the Eastern Seaboard.
I said I live there. I'm watching it. I'm not saying it's going to impact the area.
Neither am I. I'm saying, what do you think would happen?
If Matthew does impact up here, which hypothetically say that happens, and it gets picked up by the trough that's going to be setting in, if possible. Possible impacts do include a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and mainly that's about it up here. But strength, if I had to say strength, I'd say anywhere in a ballpark of Cat 1 to 2.
The 215 image is out, and minus 80 cloud tops all around the northern half of the eye wall.
Oh, wow.
Now, whether it's, regardless of its intensity, to have those highest cloud tops in that part of the storm, the northern side, the Haiti-facing side, is bad news.
And Nathan, just cited a posting 6 minutes ago from a source down there in Haiti. Comment is, wow, latest pressure is 6 MB, less than 6H, I think that would be hours ago, on the last recon.
That's right. I
really feel for Haiti, as Matthew is an extremely dangerous hurricane.
That yes. It is, and we're going to be staying for a while here to take a look.
On plane on approach.
Okay. And we'll be waiting for the National Hurricane Center's latest update, which is due in a few minutes' time. And you won't miss a thing here.
Also, just citing for the United States, 5 states are now in Matthew's cone.
It's not saying much though. But
no.
The models could change back east, they could indeed move west. We don't know yet.
And no, that's out of date.
So I just wanted to get some comments, answer some of the comments. It looks like we don't have very many You know.
Yeah, no one's asking us questions. They're just
Yes,
talking to each other. That's fine.
We love the questions and answers session, the
Serves as a
Q
chat
and A.
Yeah, there's not really many questions coming in right now, David. It's mostly just a bunch of random crap.
But we.
Yeah, okay.
No, I was just saying. Go, Hank.
No, it's not you. Am I? What? Why am I slurring my
Okay.
speech?
So Stephen thinks it'll be
Say-
150 miles an hour and 9:35 at 11 o'clock, and we'll see if he's right. We should find out soon.
So, recapping one of the main points. What do we know?
Haiti
Oh,
is
hey,
under
Nathan.
siege, and there's going to be big problems there within hours.
Nathan, may I recap a gem in the comments real quick? Someone quoted. No, so I'm quoting someone here. Said, "Can I see your Chaba?"
Good Lord.
Yeah, we did look at Chaba briefly a few minutes ago.
Yes, we did look at that.
Someone wanted to
you
know
might
about
wanna-
Virginia. I
might
just saw
wanna
on
hit-
the.
You might want to hit the rewind button. Just giving you a tip.
Yeah, someone wanted to know about Virginia on the comments just now, and can we go back to that model run, Hank? The spread where you can see them all at the same time.
Yes, I'm gonna have to load it though.
Yeah, I think it's good to keep that up on the screen for a while to show everyone what we expect. And I think people want to know a bit more about time scales as well. And closest approach to southern Florida, probably in 3 days. Maybe slightly less. Northern Florida, maybe getting on 4 days. Georgia, likewise. The Carolinas, maybe 5 days. And Virginia and beyond, 6 or more.
Okay, why is this taking so long to load? That's annoying. Anyway, I think, yeah, it says about 75%. So, give me a minute.
We have a comment here. Please discuss QPF full event for Matthew concerning Haiti, Eastern Cuba, Jamaica, and Eastern Florida. I am an emergency manager in Alabama with a BS in geography, BS in meteorology, BS in emergency, and what else do you say? And I just missed it again. God, my computer stinks. And BS in emergency management.
Okay, here it is. So yes, this is the spaghetti models. Basically, a pretty tight consensus. Either going to make a landfall on the western tip of the Tiburon Peninsula, or just clip it just to the west. Make a landfall on the eastern tip of Cuba, through the Bahamas, east of Florida for the most part. And then after that, it's just kind of blurry. Ignore these two models. This one was Honduras. This is just a model that's just infamous for just
Not a
being
model.
straight.
So if the
It's a
storm was
line.
to move in a straight line for same time, same speed forever.
Forever.
I'd be concerned if the storm did do that.
Yeah, but how is it going to cross the equator?
Oh dear.
Or the North Pole.
That too. But anyways, so yeah, general consensus is offshore Florida. Some of the models do bring it ashore, but that some of the models, most stay offshore. Now, past, I guess, say 25 degrees of latitude, it kind of splits up. Some say out to sea, some say landfall in the U.S. But if it goes out to sea, it won't stay far out to sea. It'll still stay pretty close to the coast, close enough to bring inclement weather conditions to the Carolinas. Or really, Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, they could see some pretty interesting weather as we get later into this week. So, yes. That's basically all I have to say
All right.
for this.
Yeah, and looking at Well, actually, let's see if there's an update from the National Hurricane Center yet. Nope, not yet. So we're still awaiting that. We'll let you know if we have any change. Oh yes, let's take a look at that.
Okay, so here's 98L. Currently given a 60% chance in the next 40 hours and 5 days of development.
So it's gone up.
The only reason it's like this is because the NHC just wants to name another cloud just to make the season look more like it's
Hey, if it deserves to be named, we'll see what it looks like if it gets named. Some of the storms this year maybe didn't deserve to get named, but unlike what some people think, I think most of the storms did deserve to get named. Apart from maybe 2, definitely 1.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find the quantitative precipitation forecast, so just hang on there.
Yeah, we all know what that one storm is.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of agreement on that one.
Yeah,
Nathan, what's the cone you use for precipitation on updates you used to use? Can you give me a link to that, possibly?
I've no idea which one you're referring to.
Never mind.
Okay, anyway, here's 98L. It has circulation, albeit not closed whatsoever. Still fairly open, still fairly weak. It's decoupled also, so you can see a little bit of a swirl over here. That's the mid-level low. Here's the surface low. This is mostly due to shear from Matthew and the jet stream. So the jet or whatever it's called. In this part of the world. I should know, but I don't. That's not the only invest we have going on worldwide. We also have 94C, which looks like it has a closed circulation. Looking at it, it's okay. I think it's in the Westpac now. Yes, it was technically be in the Westpac. If it gets a name, it'd be Aire. It's AERE. I have no clue on the pronunciation. Just air. By the way, if 98L gets a name, it would be named Nicole. Just for other reference. 99W might form, might not. Looks like it's going to head towards Luzon as a pretty weak system, according to the ensembles. So yeah, that's what's going on with other things worldwide, apart from Matthew and Shaba. Yeah, those 2 storms are the 2 main points of concern. And let's see, the National Hurricane Center's updated, and they have not. Okay, so
yes, they have.
John, it's not working.
They have updated, and they're saying 145 miles an hour and 934 millibars. So exactly what the ATCF said.
Where are you getting this from?
The forecast advisory updates first, always.
Oh yeah. Oh, so let's see. Why is my brain just so dead today?
I'm not sure if I don't think they changed anything with the warnings. No, so no changes in the warnings. That's important.
Yeah. So yeah, 145.
Yeah, I think that's a decent thing to do.
Yeah, sounds about right. Let's see what Recon's doing. Recon has passed through the center, and they found 935 or 934 millibars again.
Yeah.
Hello.
So
That's Marcel in the background.
Welcome aboard. Welcome into the studio, Marcel.
We heard him briefly earlier in the stream. Okay, well, hey, we're gonna take a break now. Sorry to cut Marcel off over there, but we're gonna be back in a few minutes as we begin yet another hour of live streaming here on Hurricane Matthew. We're tracking it, and we hope you can stick with us during our 8th hour of streaming, which is coming up next. Stay tuned.
Mhm.